Gemini Mine, and this is set number 41732, Downtown Flower and Design Stores from the LEGO Friends theme. This set contains 2,010 pieces, 9 mini dolls, and will retail for $159.99 in the US. This set is not officially released until January 1st, 2023, but it was sent to me early by the LEGO Group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. So this video is my first early 2023 LEGO Friends review, and LEGO did send me pretty much the entire LEGO Friends wave. However, as this is a theme I've not really covered before on the channel, I'm not sure how much of it I'm actually going to review. I will cover it all at some point, but I'm not sure if they're all going to be in individual videos, or if I'm going to do a lot of them in a bulk video. So if you would like to see more full LEGO Friends reviews on this channel, make sure to like this video. That'll help let me know that you guys are interested in seeing more, and let me know in the comments which 2023 LEGO Friends set do you want to see reviewed next. I have a bunch of other early reviews for a bunch of other themes on the channel right now as well, so make sure to check those out if you haven't yet. But now let's get on to this review. So here's the Downtown Flower and Design Stores, also known as Unity Street, as you can see with the lettering in the center right there. And this set looks absolutely beautiful. You can see, of course, it's a little street. You've got like a sidewalk out front, and then there's two big buildings. The one on the right is, of course, the giant design store, and then on the left you have a flower shop with an apartment above it. I think the two buildings look fantastic together, and that like bridge area in the center to connect them fits really well too. But now let's take a look at them up a little bit closer. We'll start on the right side of the little design store. You can see there's a large sidewalk out front. I actually really love how much room's here. It's a total of 7 studs wide plus like the grass at the end, and that's a lot more room than you have in like modular buildings and whatnot, so you could like fully populate this street with figures if you wanted to. There's also studs in a bunch of the tiles, so that way you can easily pose minifigures or mini dolls there, and actually have them connected to the build, while not taking away from the look of the street too much. This little grassy area out at the front's very simple. It looks like there's a little picnic blanket right here, a few flowers growing out of the ground, and then at the very corner there's this tree with all these autumn colors. This I think looks really beautiful too. Love all the different shades used, like the classic LEGO leaf pieces themselves are orange, but then you have like the more modern smaller leaf pieces in both yellow and a darker orange, as well as lime green, and then you have like the plant stalk pieces coming out. They use like the superheroes action pose pieces too to help like angle those leaves, and I just think all the foliage together looks really nice. It's not like a super big tree, but it looks good and I feel like it fits in well here. Now looking at the actual design store though, I love like all the different shaping on this. These like triangular pieces have been coming in sets for I think a few years at this point. However, this set definitely uses them to their fullest potential. They make use of angles so perfectly here. For one, like that doorway being sort of outset, it feels very natural incorporated in with that purple wall. Of course, the purple gradient from like the lighter lavender purple to the dark purple seems very smooth and definitely fits the overall vibes of this store. And then the angular black design, which is also outset, which has a bunch of windows on it and leads up to the top. That just looks so nice and sleek. Yeah, everything's just so sleek and smooth and well done. I absolutely adore the look of this building. There's a sticker piece on the side, which you can see has some furniture on it, just to, I guess, advertise what the store is. And here's a look at that doorway up a little bit closer. You can see it's slightly outset from the rest of the wall. And then there's double doors right here which open up, and that's to allow minifigures inside. I'm turning this around to show you the interior, but while we're here, we'll take a look at the side, where you can see there's advertisements for some of the different furniture sold at this store. These are all stickered parts, and you can see there's a little picture of a bed, there is a couch, and then there is another couch or chair or something at the top. Now you'll see when we actually get in here, all these pieces of furniture are actually available, and I think those stickers look good, add a nice bit of life to the build. But now moving inside, you can see, close those double doors up. There's a bit of room in here just post figures. Looks like there's a little coffee machine. There's a front desk room inside for a figure to stand, that I assume is meant to be the cashier. And there's a little screen for them to look at, which shows like the price of whatever items being purchased. But then the rest of this build is basically a ton of different furniture. You can see there's lots of different things in here, and every single thing is meant to be removed. So we'll take a look at each of them one by one. You can see this, I think, is meant to represent like drawers. Next to that, there's this chair that can be removed. Now all these items are designed for mini dolls, not for minifigures. So if you want to use this set like outside mini dolls and for minifigures, some of these things will have to be redesigned. Like for example, this chair probably should have studs on it if it was for minifigures. However, for mini dolls, this does make sense. Very simple design, but I think this one looks good. Some of the items do also have stickered price tags next to them, which is a really cool touch. I kind of wish more items had that, because I believe it's only like 2 or 3 in the entire set. I don't know, we'll see them when we come across them. But yeah, one of them is here. It says $99 for the chair. There's also a stickered carpet piece, which you can imagine also being sold. There's how that looks up close, pretty cute design. And in front of all that, there's a table. Very circular, has like a little leaf piece on top. Not much else to say on that one. Neon yellow is always a cool color to get though. And finally at the very front, there's a little couch. This one's very colorful, it's one of the ones seen on the advertisements. The arms can be flipped down if you want, though I assume you would not want to do that. Got a little cushion right here. I think it's a cute build, it's incorporated well. But now coming up to the next level of the store, in here there's a couple more carpets. First is this purple and teal one, then there's a blue one with black and white stripes. This one's really cool, I especially like this one, probably my favorite of the set. Then there's also another little table in here. This has a few studs on it, so if you want to place things on the table, you can. You can see there's another price tag back here. This time it's for $1.99, and that is for this little shelf. And there you can see that shelf holds a little plant inside. Very cute. There's also a teapot on the table next to that. Some sort of art piece hangs on the wall right here. There's actually quite a few of those stickers. Not sure if any of them are referencing anything in particular. They're just meant to look sort of cool. So let me know in the comments if any of you guys notice any direct references on any of the stickers. But yeah, now coming over to this little room on the left, there's a couple shelves with some household accessories, mugs, glasses, and I'm not sure what that is. Maybe like a lava lamp? I'm not sure. There's this really funky lamp right here. It uses like skulking arms in black, and I think that's just a super creative design. Feels like the kind of thing you would see at just like a wacky design store. Maybe not the most practical lamp in the world, but it is like really goofy looking. And of course, like each part can be articulated. And just like the rest of the furniture, it can be removed. There's also a quite colorful bed back here. Love the colors in that one, and that triangular piece is used super well to make it look like it's a sheet folded over. And for the legs of the bed, they actually use like the action pose pieces, which I think is super creative parts usage. Now you have a better look at the stickered art pieces. There's a moon, some mushrooms, some flowers, and it looks like a little hiking path. And then on this side of the build, there's really not another true floor. It's just really big and open and tall. But there is a few more pieces of furniture, as you can see. The first is being shown out the window in the front. You may have seen it earlier. But this is the black and white couch, which is also the sticker that we saw earlier. Another very cute one. I think this is designed really well. There's a bed hanging sideways on the wall, and removing that, that's a more classic bed design than the other bed in this set. Personally, I do think this looks a lot better, but it is definitely more basic. So if you want something like funkier, more out there, you go with the other one, but this one is very good for what it is, and I like the colors they chose. Teal is always very cool to see. And then behind that, also out the window, you have another thing that's removable. This is like one of those rounded chairs that swivels. Now this one definitely would not work for minifigures if you want to use minifigures with this set. Like this is specifically designed to fit mini dolls, but as I mentioned before, this is a mini doll set, so I guess that makes sense. But yeah, that's probably another one of my favorite furniture pieces in the set. I just think it's a lot of fun. Now moving back over to the right, this floor is like a little balcony where you can pose figures. Tons of room up there, as well as these two like glass chairs. Those are only made up of 3 pieces, and you do get 2 of them in this set, but there's a look at them up close if you're curious. But they also use trans clear pieces to be like the railings on the balcony. And then finally, in terms of furniture, there's these double doors that open up. And inside you have what I think are meant to be different types of lamps. I'm not sure. This is an egg with like a little flower on it. Or I guess maybe the ones at the front are like funky types of flower pots, because yeah, this is an egg with a flower on top. This one's like a classic Lego cone piece with an ice cream cone piece on top and a flower on top of that. So maybe that's like a vase holding roses. And then in the back, I think these 2 are lamps. And actually this build looks a lot like it's supposed to be a lava lamp. Well, this one's actually very creative, using an upside down cupcake wrapper piece to be like a lampshade. I actually think that works surprisingly well and looks really good. And that's about all there is to the actual interior of the build. However, now taking a look at the roof real quick, you can see like where that sleek black angle comes up. There's also just some lavender pieces up here that help keep that like very smooth shape. And at the very top, they finish that black part off with like a spike. And then there's also 2 solar panels up here, which are stickered pieces, I believe, which those are very nice to see, both for this build and for your own custom builds. I think those are really fantastic parts. But that's about it for the design store in this set. However, I didn't mention yet, as you can see, this is modular. There's 3 sections of this set, and each of them can be removed. They just connect on with Technic pins. So if you want to add your own section to this build or rearrange them, you definitely could. But now let's move on to that center section. So right next to the design store, there's a little bit of an alleyway. Only 2 studs wide, so there's not really any room to pose like characters or anything, but it is cool that that's there. But of course, next to that, you have like this little street display. And while there's not a ton like actually built going on here, I think this is an awesome place to pose figures. The sort of like mosaic design on the sidewalk I think looks amazing. You have 2 benches to sit characters on, and those can also be popped off if you want. Now those are very loose, only connecting on 1 stud. However, that is intentional. You are meant to move them if you want, and if you want to make them more sturdy, you could very easily customize this set. There's also a few extra studs, 1 in front of the fountain and 1 behind it, just so you could pose figures there if you wanted to. And then this fountain in the center can also be popped off, not as easily, but still pretty easily. You can see it just leaves behind 4 2x2s. And here's looking up a little bit closer. They use the Power Blast pieces to be like flowing water, which I think works absolutely perfectly. It has a brick in the center with a heart, which I think looks really cute. But my favorite part of this build definitely has to be what they did at the bottom. They use like a trans blue disc piece to represent like the water collecting in the base of the fountain, which obviously makes sense. But beneath the disc, they actually trapped a printed 5-cent coin piece. Now that is really creative to make it look like someone threw a coin in the fountain. And I love how that's sort of loose trapped under there, and you could definitely add more coins if you wanted to. But yeah, I just think that's a lot of fun the way that's done. Very creative design. And I think overall the fountain looks really good too. So yeah, super happy with that. perfect centerpiece for this build. Behind the fountain though, there's a little staircase which you can see is in the different colors of the rainbow, starting with purple, then blue, then teal I guess for some reason, then green, then lime green, then yellow, and then coming around to the back and looking for the top, you can see the final stairs are in bright orange and then normal orange, and then there's actually no red, which is a little bit weird. Like we have lime green and teal and bright orange, but red's not included here? Just feels like they cut it a little short. That's something that's very easy to fix if you want to do that. But yeah, I didn't actually notice that. I assumed it was the full rainbow. It's kind of wacky that it's not. But yeah, here you have this balcony area which connects the design studio to the flower shop, and it's very cute. There's just tons of studs here so you can pose lots of figures if you wanted to. I love when sets have a ton of room to pose figures, and yeah, they definitely have that in so many different parts of the set. There's 2 different chairs, characters to sit, and then a table in the center. And on the table you could see there is a printed pizza piece. Not new, but always a very good one. As well as a glass with some sort of pink drink, and a can of soda. But yeah, there's how that looks with everything removed. And above that you have these gem pieces to represent lights, and they connect from the balcony of the design studio to the roof of the flower shop. Now if you detach the different parts of this set, you will have to detach this as well, because that's the one thing other than those Technic pins holding like the different parts of the set together. But when they are connected, I think that looks absolutely beautiful. Again, just adds so much more life to the build. Genuinely, just everything in the set is so pretty. Coming back around to the front one last time, you can see that balcony has stickered pieces on them that spell out Unity Street. They use like the Fabuland pole pieces, and then there's just some foliage hanging down, which I think looks really good. But now finally, let's move to the last building in this set, the flower shop and apartment building. Starting at the front, there's a little bit of green grass. There's not as much here as there is on the other side, but this is a much smaller building, and I think that's fine. Very big street once again, though this time there is now a fire hydrant on it, as well as a few flowers advertising the flower shop out the front. I love how colorful this window is, and I think all these ingot pieces are actually incorporated really well. You never know with ingot pieces, sometimes they're done well, sometimes they're not. But yeah, I think these actually really fit the design of this building. They have bright orange Unity details hanging down too, which looks super cool. And at the top of the actual flower shop area, there's a stickered piece that says Bloom. I guess that's the name of the flower shop. 2 little like street lights hanging down, and this like flower bouquet build, which I suppose is here to help advertise the shop. As you can see, you can spin that a little bit, and it can also be rotated like side to side, but of course it looks best like that. Then on this upper level, there is an apartment building above the flower shop. You can see it was just sold, as there is a sign out the front that says sold. There's another stickered piece right here that says established 2012. I assume that's meant to reference the fact that LEGO Friends started in 2012, so even though we really didn't get any 10th anniversary sets in 2022, it's cool to see them call back to their roots here. Around the left side of the building, there's a balcony with a door that opens up. That door has a little heart piece on it, and there's a little bit more foliage hanging down. And on the right side, most of it's usually hidden away, but you can see there's windows up in the apartment area, and just some different Technic parts to connect it. Then the roof, once again, I think uses the ingot pieces really well. Really love this sort of like inverse arch design too. And on the roof, it seems like there's a little garden area. There's like this trans-purple umbrella piece, which I actually really like. I think this is my first time getting it. I don't believe it's a new part, but I think it's like one of those parts that pretty much only comes in LEGO Friends sets. So yeah, this is my first time seeing it, and I think it's super cool. There's also a little watering can, lots of different plants and flowers all throughout. And I can tell this build's definitely meant to be something specific. However, I could not tell you what that is. There's like a little printed bee piece which is attached to it. So my first thought was like beehive, but I don't know why there's green in a beehive. So maybe that's not what it is. I'm not sure. But yeah, if any of you guys know what that's supposed to be, let me know in the comments. But regardless, I can tell whatever it is well made. Because the shaping of everything's very particular there. I unfortunately cannot pinpoint like what it's meant to be. But now moving inside, here's the flower shop. Of course, that door at the front opens up. In here, there's a stickered part with lots of different stuff on the wall. You can see there's different plants, and like one of them has a price on it. There's also a bit of water and animal food down here for the cat and dog that come in this set. There's a little counter with a stickered cash register piece, a piece of money, and then a flower like in a vase. Really love the sticker on that cash register. Feels like very antique, while also being like very well designed. And then in the back, there's a little platform with 3 different plants on it. Here's the first one that just has some dark green leaves. The second one uses a transclear minifigure head as a pot, and you can see there's 3 flowers blooming. And then the third one is a single flower in a pot, and this one's probably my favorite. I kind of wish the flower shop had more than just 3 options. However, the ones that you do get here are good. And there are more flowers at the different parts of the build, such as this one right here, the ones out front, and the ones on the roof. There's also little scissors right here on a clip, which I guess you can use to imagine like characters trimming the flowers. But now moving up to the apartment on the upper level, this is very plain. You can see on the floor there's a stickered piece which is meant to represent a can of paint, as well as a paint roller right here. There's another new stickered carpet piece which I actually think looks really good. Happy you get so many different ones in this set. And then there's just a couple of cardboard boxes, and a stickered piece with a picture of Aida on top. Well, no, I actually really love the stickers for those cardboard boxes. Again, I feel like that's a part that's very useful both in the context of the set and outside the context of the set. But other than that, the room is just plain. However, that's not like LEGO being lazy. There's actually a reason for that, because that is the entire purpose of this set. You see, the idea is you have a character move into this apartment, and you're supposed to decorate the apartment with furniture from the furniture store, and maybe add a few plants in from the flower shop. to make the apartment uniquely your own. I think that is a fantastic idea for a set, and you get so much here that there's definitely a lot of options. It's not like you have, oh, one couch that you take from the furniture store and put here. Like, no, there's way more options in the furniture store. You cannot fit them all in this apartment, so you definitely have to pick and choose. And if you want to like build your own apartment, you can move the furniture there too. I think that's a super fun concept. There's also a bunch of open studs in the walls, so you can also put the paintings from the furniture store up in here too. Or for example, we could put up this picture of Aida. So yeah, while this room's very plain on its own, I love the reason why that is. It opens up just to so much play, and it gives you the option to customize this however you want, make it as detailed or as basic as you want. I think that's a really fun idea. It makes her a very exciting toy. But I think that's about all I have to show you for the build of this set. I'll talk about my overall thoughts on it at the end of this video, but in short, I really like this build. Now, one small thing, I'll put a picture on screen. I saw on LEGO.com it was advertised like, oh, you can rearrange this set. Well, that's technically true. I don't think that's the best advertisement, because yeah, those Tectic pin connectors are only on the sides. The connection that LEGO shows would require like Tectic pin connectors on the back of the front. So while you technically can arrange the set like that if you wanted to, it wouldn't actually be connected in any way. Like in their example, the flower shop's not connected anywhere. So yeah, this is the only true connection in this set. I guess you could swap around the locations of the flower shop and the design shop, but that would throw things off a little bit. This is basically the main way you're supposed to display this set, which I think is fine. But yeah, I saw that LEGO.com and at least wanted to address that, because there's no true way to do that connection here. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for the set. So now let's take a look at the minifigures, or I guess mini dolls of this set, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts. So here are the first two mini dolls in this set. We have Olly and Liann. These are two of the new main characters for LEGO Friends in 2023. And full disclosure, I've not been the biggest fan of mini dolls in the past. I'm just sort of against the concept in general. So I don't know, I feel like the classic LEGO minifigure is just so perfect. I'm not a fan how this is just an entirely different figure style. However, all that being said, I think these new mini dolls are a big improvement over the old ones, because one of my biggest complaints with the old ones is their expressions all felt very neutral. These ones though have a lot more personality. Like, these don't feel like toys, these feel like characters, which is very nice to see. Really love the sort of like metallic blueprinting on Olly's arms, and it's a nice like torso and leg design on both of them. Expressions though, as I mentioned, are full of personality, and they both feel very unique. Liann comes with an advertisement for the design studio as an accessory. Now this is a stickered part, not a print, but still very cool to see. And then the most exciting part about these figures, at least for me, is the hair pieces, because of course the hair pieces are compatible with normal minifigures. Liann's I'm not crazy about. I mean, I think it's good, but I feel like we've got many other hair pieces that accomplish a very similar thing, even though it's not that exactly. Still though, it's always nice to get more options. And then Olly's I think is really cool in concept. This like short blonde hair that goes up, though I'm not a huge fan of how it looks at the back. It just gets very smooth, and I feel like that's a little bit awkward, but from the front I think that's a fantastic part. In case you're curious, here's how those hair pieces look on standard LEGO minifigures. Of course, these minifigures don't come in this set. These are just random figures I grabbed from a LEGO City set. But yeah, I thought you guys might be curious to see what this looks like, and they fit pretty well. LEGO Friends has also completely ditched rubber hair pieces, it seems, so all these hair pieces are plastic, so there's pretty much no difference between like normal LEGO hair pieces and LEGO Friends hair pieces anymore, other than the fact that more LEGO Friends pieces have holes in them to attach accessories. However, I don't think that's a huge deal. The next two characters of this set, we have Aida and Aida. I apologize if I'm pronouncing either of those names wrong, but yeah, these two are both quite good. Aida's hair piece I don't believe is new. Definitely not a new piece. It might be a new color, but I'm pretty sure it's existed in that color before. But her face print I think is actually really good. Just super detailed, and again, lots of personality to it. Nice torso design too. I do like the gold bits. And then Aida actually does have an all new hair piece for this wave. This is Paisley's hair, which is also new for this wave, but in black instead of dark red. Now I believe this hair piece is exclusive to this set, and I think this is another super great part. The way it sort of just covers one of her eyes but leaves the other eye exposed creates a super unique look, and I think especially this color is a lot more useful than the dark red variant. You could create a lot of cool characters using this. I think that's a fine torso print on her too. And then she comes with what I believe is an all new printed cell phone piece. We've been using like the same few cell phone pieces for years now, so I'm happy to see there's a new one. It's got like Wi-Fi and a battery signal, and it looks like maybe it's got maps open or something. I think that's a pretty cool inclusion. And then once again, if you're curious, there's how that hair piece looks with just a regular LEGO minifigure. It feels maybe a little bit too big, because like an eye is fully covered up, but yeah, I still think it fully works with these guys. And it's so different from like any other hair piece. Very happy to get this one. It does have a hole for an accessory at the top, but yeah, I think it's really great. Here are the next two mini dolls. We have Fiona and Riley. Fiona, once again, not a new hair piece. Might be a new color, but this has been a system hair piece for a while. However, I think it fits her well. I believe she is meant to be the owner of the flower shop, so she's got like a really nice apron design, and I think her face print's really great. Feels very different from like the other ones in the set and just in LEGO Friends in general. Her eyes just seem like a little further apart and maybe a bit smaller, which makes me happy to see. It's like they're mixing things up. Every character doesn't look like a carbon copy of each other. I think they've really done a great job improving the mini doll formula, because every character has their own unique look now. And then Riley is probably my favorite figure of this set. Like, as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of mini dolls in general, but this is just a fantastic figure all around. I love the floral rose printing on this dress, both on the torso part and the leg part. She, of course, is holding a saxophone, which unfortunately she cannot play because she's a mini doll and her arms do not articulate that way. But then her face is once again again, full of personality. And this is what I believe is an all-new hat-hair combo piece, which I think looks incredible with the dark red hair and like the sand green hat. I think that looks amazing. And taking that off, you can see her full face print, where she just got a little smirk, and I think that looks great. Once again, there's that hairpiece on LEGO City minifigure, if you're curious. I think that looks fantastic, fits perfectly. Not with this character, but on like a standard minifigure, I mean. Oh, and I guess I didn't mention this little kitten. But yeah, the set comes with a little kitten, where he's got one eye open and one eye closed. I'm not sure if this cat's meant to be like blind in one eye, or if it's just like winking. But either way, I guess that's up to your imagination. It's one of the LEGO Friends animal mold, so it's got like a hole in the top of the head for an accessory. And I think it's very cute. Always happy to see animals included. But yeah, overall, I think these are two of the best figures of the set. All of them are really great, but Riley especially I think is fantastic. And then the final full-size mini doll in the set is Isabella, and she is of course a police officer. I believe this is our first time ever getting a police officer LEGO Friends character, so that's quite cool to see. Obviously that's nice to have in like a LEGO Friends collection. Really love her hair hat combo piece. I'm not sure if that's new. I don't believe it is, but if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments. Once again, her face is very unique, different from all the other ones in this set. And then in terms of her accessory, it's a stickered part, which looks to be some sort of tablet, and it looks like she's searching for the two children that come in this set. And then of course the set also comes with this dog. Just like mini dolls, I'm not the biggest fan of the LEGO Friends animals. I mean, they're fine, they're cute, but I much prefer these standard LEGO animals. I just feel like there's too much detail in like the eyes of these guys. However, that doesn't make it not cute. I still do really like the dog. Absolutely adorable design, and there's room on the top to attach an accessory if you wanted to. Always nice to get animals in the set as a bonus, so getting both a cat and a dog here is super appreciated. And then here are the final two characters of the set, Isabella and Peter. And I know these have been coming in sets for a few years, these like LEGO Friends child minifigures. However, I will never get used to these. These are uncanny in my opinion. Their legs don't move, their arms don't move, they just have a fully sized head like they're a Minecraft mob. Yeah, just something seems off about these guys. Like in terms of LEGO Friends child figures, I guess these two are fine, but I don't think I'm a fan of this like figure style in general. These are very, very uncanny in my opinion. The only difference between them is like a slightly different face print. I think the girl's eyes are like slightly more oval, while the guy's eyes are slightly more rectangular. But yeah, they're very, very similar. And then their hair pieces are not new for this set, nor are they LEGO Friends hair pieces. They're just pretty standard LEGO hair pieces. So yeah, I think these are easily the weakest ones of the set. However, when the rest is so good, I can't really complain about these. But overall, what are my thoughts on this set? I think this set is fantastic all around. I highly, highly recommend it. I know LEGO Friends is not going to be for everybody, because I know my audience is mostly male, and LEGO Friends is typically considered like a girl theme. However, of course, like if you could afford it, and like theme doesn't matter to you, you're just looking for cool, fun builds, I would highly recommend this one, regardless of like gender or whatever. It's a really well done build with some super unique architecture. I think the whole play functionality of like being able to decorate your own apartment is a ton of fun. I love how much room there is to just pose figures in this set, like so much room on the sidewalks and in the different buildings. And a furniture store is something I feel like we haven't really gotten in LEGO just in general before, so that's just like a nice new thing to add to your collection. So yeah, I feel like this fits into like a LEGO city. You could probably even modify it to be modular too if you really wanted to. But yeah, genuinely, I think this set is super well done. Great price too, 2,000 pieces for $160. What is this, 2017? And physical size, yeah, it's huge. So if you liked what you saw in this video, I would highly recommend you pick this one up. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you want to see more LEGO Friends reviews on the channel, make sure to like the video. There'll be at least a few more full LEGO Friends reviews, but if you want to see like full reviews of every set, make sure to let me know like that's something that you want. Because as of me recording this, I have no clue how like the videos on this theme are going to perform. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for this video. So thanks for watching everybody, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!